YouTube was shaking. It's your boy the knockoff Don, aka the Purple Yoda. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here. You know what time? You see what's in front of us. It's the Yeezy season. So before we even get into anything, if you new to the channel, or if you just a bum ass nigga who been watching my shit and ain't subscribed, shame on you. Like, comment, subscribe, my nigga. All right? I'm tired of moving peas. I'm trying to get YouTube checks, my nigga. Damn. All right. We got the, I don't want to say Yeezy batch breakdown because there's so many variants of Yeezys. So in front of me, I have 350s and 500s. So we gonna make this the 350 and 500 batch breakdown. Obviously, I want some 700s. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I even want some 750s. You know what I mean? I want the obviously I want the Air Yeezys, ones and twos. Obviously, I'm gonna try to get a hold of those. You know what I mean? But those are very prestigious, very high covenant shoes. Even down to the material and the markup, even on the budget side, they can still be a little pricey. Shout out to the mods. One of the mods got all three of the Air Yeezy 2s. So we just gonna touch on these joints. We got the belugas. I want to say these are the infrareds and these are the breads. You know what I'm saying? We got the Oreos. Those are all the 350s. I got my white ones. Those are the cream whites. Those are beat up. I'm gonna put them on screen too. Those are my dailies. I got some the blue mints in here. I got either the soft visions or the bone white 500s in one of these boxes. So we're gonna touch on that. You know what I mean? Your boy gonna light up some of this purple. You know what I mean? Yeezys. They came my first haul. Reason why I'm beating them up like this, I already named that I want to keep. I want to make sure that we touch on the length of quality and how sustainable they are. One of the things I've heard about Yeezys is you can wash them literally in a washer and dryer. And most people say that's how you keep the 350s clean. Now I don't know if it's the material that gives you access to that, but I definitely will be trying this out on this kick because I can easily just get another one, obviously, but I want to wash it and see how true that holds up, just in case maybe I have to do that to a different pair, you know what I'm saying? But the cream white V2 350s, my first haul, my first pair of Yeezys, my first reps of Yeezys in general. I've never had any retail. These are immaculate in the sense of they still have that arch on the upper. It still have like the open mouth form. Like it's not like completely just like, you know what I mean? Like just beat the hell because I just been wearing it. It still hold it down. I even still got some Adidas lettering on the inside of the sole, which is crazy considering that my bare foot goes against that shit. You know what I mean? It should have been rubbed it off completely. The sole on my right foot is starting to come out, but that's just through wear and tear. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's so much of a quality of the rep or the seller or indication of poor craftsmanship. I think it's more telling of how much I've worn them and the wear and tear I've put on them, more so than anything else. So out of the on the cream whites, I'm gonna give these motherfuckers like overall like a 8 out of 10. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I beat them up. Obviously, you could tell. But even with that being said, they still did their thing. They still preserved and gave me faith in Yeezy reps, just on how long this material has stayed up. My foam doesn't have any, you know what I'm saying, on the sole. My boost is on point. Even my boost is dirty. You know what I mean? So that's the cream 350 V2. It's a tongue twister. I know, my nigga. The Yeezy V2 350 V2 Oreos. Now, I'm not the most biggest Yeezys fan in the sense of I wasn't there in the beginning. Like I just became a hype beast when I got my reps. So like with Jordans, I can tell you the coveted colorways for Jordans, like the classic, iconic. Oh yo, your breads, your Oreos, your Concords, you know, anything like that. From my understanding, the grails for like V2 colorways are like the Oreos, the Zebras, the Turtle Doves, the Belugas, the breads, and to my knowledge, that's it. So having one of these, the Oreos, is fire. One of the biggest things you look for, obviously, when you're trying to QC or batch or break down a batch or analyze it, is how thick the stripe is, how consistent is the serial code and the placement of it, the letterings, the numbering. Is it supposed to be backwards? Is it supposed to be forwards? The accents of the shoe, how consistent are they throughout the shoe? Like, that's mostly what you look for. Now, if you look inside this one, there's no Adidas branding in there. I don't know if that's prevalent. I don't know if it's on one side of the shoe. There's none in there at all. So that's obviously, I believe that's a defect, because all of them say Yeezys or Adidas in them from what I believe it's supposed to say. So, I mean, but Yeezys aren't too much of an issue in reps when it comes to batch breakdown and identifying them. Like I said, I just named all the parts. Like, how consistent is the colorway accents, like like little sprinkles, the little dots that are supposed to be throughout it. Is the form on the shoe, is the toe box straight? I've had Yeezy reps where the toe box curls up, or it's like, yeah, it's not straight and it's not the right dimensions. Is the sole, is it stitched on there properly? Is it glued on properly? If you push against it, will it pop up? You know what I'm saying? Is the boost correctly, you know what I mean, proportion? These are all things you can look for, and when you're trying to QCs, you know what I'm saying, a Yeezy 350. And this is the Oreo joint. So whatever you get out of that, you let me know. Like I said, I'm more so new to Yeezys. Jordans, even if I wasn't buying retail, we've seen them so much. The model, the silhouette, we've seen it so much, it's kind of easy to identify. I wouldn't say it's easy to QC, but it's easy to identify over a newer shoe like the Yeezys. You know, I think they have a shelf life. I think they came out like mid 2020, I mean mid 2000s, you know what I mean? Like not 2000, but the 2010s, you know what I mean? Now for me, the grail version of this would be the reflective version of it. I don't know if these are reflective. Rep Wife hasn't worn these. I don't think so, because at night I don't see anything glowing or reflect, obviously, right? So this is what I would believe is like the quintessential gray version of the zebra joints, which is based off the zebra pattern, obviously. They call these the belugas. It looks like a gray zebra to me. Like, that's what it looks like. You could tell that they wanted to model this silhouette after the zebras. I think the zebras took off and was such an iconic colorway for the Yeezys. Just like you see with Jordans, when a certain colorway pop off in a Jordan, a Bread, a Concord, they spread it throughout the rest of the silhouettes. You know what I'm saying? So like, there's Bread 1s and 2s and 4s. You know what I mean? Like, so I think the zebra, but obviously they couldn't call it zebra again. You know what I'm saying? So I think they just found a different way to dress up the name. But this shoe is dope. This is Rep Wife's pair as well. Like I said, you look for the thickness of the line. You look for the consistencies of the serial code. The tab on the back, if it has one, you pull on it. Make sure it's, you know, durable, things of that nature. Proper proportions on the sole. Is it glued on there correctly? If you push against it, will it pop out? Is the boost correct? You know what I mean? Is the toe box narrow? Is it straight? Does it pop up at the end? Does it curl up? Does that, when you're looking in the sole, does it have that gaping mouth look? You know what I mean? It looks weird as hell when you look, it's just like an open ass mouth. It looks like that one painting where the dude just, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, like, if you, outside of that, bro, Yeezys are pretty much Yeezys, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really think it, I don't want to say it like it doesn't require a lot of craftsmanship. Obviously making any shoe does, but I believe Yeezys are a very simplistic style. If I was to say, I think they're a very simplistic style to where it's not hard to replicate, you know what I mean? Which is why I think overall Yeezys are so plentiful, and they're, if you ask me, they're one of the cheaper reps. Like, Yeezy 350s are one of the cheaper reps along the pantheon of reps, because I think they're just easy to make, you know what I'm saying? That's just me personally. Now, this is where I start to get confusing, you know what I mean? Now, from my understanding, keep in mind, when you're buying reps from Weedian sellers and things like that, even sometimes from UPO sellers, but majority of the time Weedian sellers, they do not put the retail colorway name when you're selecting the shoe, you know what I mean? 9 out of 10 times there's some generic name of a shoe, whether if it's just like an abbreviation or like just what they believe, what they want to call it, or maybe it has its own nickname. I don't know if this is infrared or breads. I think this is infrareds. Infrared V2s. You know what I mean? Yeezy V2s. Now these are Rep White's pair. They don't have the tag on the back. They don't have the Adidas or Yeezy branding in the sole. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how much that plays in the factor of how much is one-on-one. Like I said, I don't have any retail Yeezy, so I lean on a lot of my retail homies to identify and point out flaws or certain minute differences between a retail and a replica. Once I get more information and more obviously hands-on experiences with different batches, different variants, and obviously some retails, my homie, one of my retail homies has a lot of retail Yeezy. So whenever we link up, I'll be able to compare and contrast. But as far as like the eye test goes, they look pretty on point. Like I said, toe box is fine. The stripe is dope. The little accents of the colorways is prominent throughout the shoe. The red dots throughout it. The boost, as you see, Rep White's boost is worn because she wears these when she takes her walks. You know what I mean? These are exercising shoes, which is why I really don't trip on the level of detail on these. Not saying that it doesn't matter, because it does matter, but the utility use of it is just for walking purposes. It's not to stunt, it's not to wear out, it's not to look cute or match. Not saying she doesn't, but the point is the whole emphasis of it is the utility of it is just to work out in. But as far as outside of that, I think they fire. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm confusing from what I researched and saw. These are called the infrareds, and the ones next to them are called the breads. You know what I mean? From what my due diligence taught me. I may be wrong. You can correct me in the comments. You can flame me. You can do whatever the fuck you want. But these are fire as well. But like I said, they don't have the strap on the back. They don't have the Yeezy or Adidas embroidered. I don't think there's any pair on either side. Nope. Well, yeah, this one does. This one, as you can see, that one has the Adidas brand in the sole, but the other one doesn't. It's the blue tints. Now, like I said, there's a lot of grail colorways when it comes to 350s, and I think blue tints is up there as well. Like I said, obviously that zebra print hit so hard, and it was so popular and so successful that any type of brand or company is going to want to mimic that level of success. So I think once the zebras came out and they hit and they sold out and niggas went crazy for them, I think the next step was to try to replicate, that's a bar, replicate any colorway that was similar to it. So that's why I think you have the belugas, the blue tints, because they're trying to mimic that success of the zebra colorway. I've already stated I had some zebras, I sold them. I'm gonna get another pair. But zebras are clearly one of the go-to colorways when it comes to V2s, to the point that Adidas and Yeezy themselves have tried to make it over and over and over again. You know what I mean? Now I think the accents look dope in any colorway. That tiger, that zebra stripe, that mix of it kind of looks tigerish, zebra-ish. I think you can pull that off on Yeezys because the dimensions and the shape of it allows the variants and the stripes to breathe, and all that, the color blocking and all that accents of it, just the nuances of the shoe, it fits perfectly on this shoe. I think if you tried to pull this colorway on a Jordan, I don't think the form and function of it would allow it to be properly, you know, the pattern wouldn't be on there properly. So I think the blue tints is one of those pairs as well, and I think they did a great job on these. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, they got the little tug on the back. You know what I'm saying? They still got their form and function. Clearly, they got the patterns down, how consistent they're supposed to be. I'm not here to really be, you know, about that. You know what I'm saying? I just think when you're looking for a Yeezy, there's certain things you look for. You look for the boost. You know what I'm saying? Is the boost prevalent? Does it feel good when it's on your foot? Is the sole correct? Is it the right coloring of the sole? Once you get into certain colorways, there's certain soles that are supposed to be matching the colorway. You know what I mean? This is supposed to have that clear, translucent on the upper part of the sole, not the entire. The bottom part of it, as you see, goes right back to that kind of oxidized, you know, worn look, while the upper part of it has that translucent, kind of like that cool gray look that you see on the Jordans. You know what I mean? So I think that's a little dope accent on the blue tints, and I think that's like I said, it's a zebra. It looks like a zebra knockoff, but it has the little elements to separate it. Like I said, with the translucent sole, that's one of the dopest parts of the blue tints. Is the sole matches the pattern of the colorway. I think that makes it its own variant of the zebras. I still think the zebras is the best colorway when you're trying to do the striped pattern, but this holds up as well. It's a very peculiar shoe as far as the design of it, but once you put it on foot, my nigga, it's something about it. It just looks crazy on foot. Like the design, like all that mesh and those holes and just the different materials and the gum, the peanut butter soles. Like I think that gives it that extra oomph as far as like, because when you go from the 350s to the 500s, they don't have that boost. You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of people were hoping that was one of the pieces of the Yeezy brand that would be consistent throughout all the shoes. I'm not Kanye. I don't know his level of genius or why he decided not to put them in there, but these are dope as well. I think this is like the middle gauge of where he was going with the 700s, like trying to perfect that perfect dad shoe. While it's minimalistic, it's stylish. It has a lot of style, but it's also minimalistic in the sense of its approach and how it's trying to market itself as a shoe. Like it's not a designer shoe, but it's also not the Nike New Balance Dad Barbecue 3000s, you know what I'm saying? But it also has the function and utility of an everyday quote unquote dad shoe, which is why you see the 700s, the Wave Runners and shit like that. People crown that the new age dad shoe. And I think the 500s was like the perfect like it was the perfect way he can go from the style of the 350 to the utility use of the 700s without missing a step. And I think the 500s represent that because it has the abstract look of trying to be something different like the 350s do, but it also has that overall appeal of a shoe that the 700s do, where it's like, yeah, I'm different, but I'm also a shoe. I'm an everyday shoe. Like, don't get me fucked up. And that's why I think the 500s are so dope. The materials is what makes me be like, yo, like this suede, like this ruffled suede and like the mesh and like the mixture of the colors, like it, to me, this is like prime Ye as far as like artistry. Like there's so much shit going on with this shoe. I'll be an idiot trying to explain every bit of detail to you because I'd sound stupid because I have no clue what was going through this man's brain. But the overall, the product and the overall fact of the shoe, I love 500s. You know what I mean? Like, and I love how they have all those different materials in the shoe, and it doesn't look like it doesn't look like a collage of shit. It looks like it's properly proportioned where it needs to be. And the colorways, whew, the soft visions for me, like to me, those are the best 500s, the soft visions. Like that fuchsia, I don't know if it's like fuchsia pink or like violet purple. My color perception could be a little off at times, you know what I mean? I base all my shit what we look like. But on to the next shoe. One of the biggest reasons why I fuck with Yeezy is because the way they do the whites. They do cream whites. They don't do that white, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of, I don't want to say off-white, but it's cream white, you know what I mean? To the point where it could be neutral, it could be a neutral shoe. Like it doesn't have to naturally be all done with white. You can wear this with gray, you can wear this with tan, essential, you know, just neutral colors. I said essential because motherfuckers gonna wear essential t-shirts with this shit all day. But I love the 500s. To me, the 500s are a very slept on shoe. Like I said, I know the 350s are very gauging. I know that the Air Yeezys have their own story. They're the first. They get their own way of, you know what I mean, hype beasts. The 700s, the Wave Runners are doing their thing. But the 500s, man, I think niggas be sleeping on the 500s. You know what I mean? Like, once you get one in your hand, especially when you put on foot, and they're comfortable too, you know what I'm saying? Like that tongue, it kind of got like that SB feel, like when you put it on, like the tongue kind of like hugs your foot type shit, you know what I mean? If that puts anything in context for you, I don't really know how to explain it perfectly because, like I said, my experience with Yeezys it's very new. I'm in the new stage of Yeezys, so it's not like a Jordan where certain silhouettes were branded just for fashion or comfortability or utility to play basketball. These are more so like a concept shoe in the sense of there's nothing like it prior and you don't see nothing like it after. You see people try to make variants of it, but the purpose of the shoe has its own, it's created different and it has its own placement in the goddamn purpose of what the sneaker community does. Like, I know right now you're probably like, yo bro, you are rambling, you just geeked out about Kanye for like 10 minutes, but like, my nigga, I love the 500s, bro. I don't know how else to explain it to you, you know what I'm saying? Like, god damn it. To me, the cream, the bone whites is potent, it's dope, you know what I'm saying? It's not too much of a that screaming white to where you're scared to wear it, to where you think you'll get it dirty and you won't properly wear it, you know what I mean? Like, that's nobody talks about that, like the fear of wearing too much white on a shoe because it is just gonna attract so much dirt. I think these are perfect. And now, unlike the V2s, I don't hear any stories about if you want to clean these, you can just wash them. I haven't ran across that, particularly with the 500s, but I will definitely get some more pairs, different batches. These are from SK, you know what I'm saying? Get some more batches to compare and contrast and see how consistent the qualities are. My next hunt is obviously some Nike Yeezys, the 1s and 2s. I want some more Adidas Yeezys, the 700s, you know what I mean? And just expand my rotation. Like, a lot of times when I'm making these videos and batch breakdowns, first things people say to me is, you know, there's other shoes than Jordans, my nigga, you know what I'm saying? So I wanted to get a little batch breakdown for that, and I appreciate y'all watching. Like I said, if you're new to the channel, like, comment, subscribe. Take your time, you know what I mean? Watch the videos, watch the content. Follow us on Reddit, you know what I mean? Rep Budget Sneakers, Rep Gang. We out of here. Ow!